Would you like to accelerate your career and reach your full potential in just minutes a day? Welcome to the LEADx Show with New York Times best-selling author and Inc. 500 entrepreneur, Kevin Kruse.
Hey everyone, Kevin Kruse here. I hope you had a good week. This is, of course, the Friday edition of the LEADx Leadership Show, where instead of interviewing a guest, we call it Fan Mail Friday. I get to rant, answer some of your questions, and in just a minute, in fact, I'm going to answer questions about how to maintain energy at the end of the day so that you can work on your side hustle, on your big dream. Also, how big a team do you need before you start doing weekly one-on-ones? And if I had to boil it down, what's the number one first easiest thing you should be doing to drive engagement and loyalty on your team? And by the way, here's my random rant. Remember that article I told you about that I did on Forbes, How to Create Your Leadership User's Manual? Now, I talked about how I created this one-page guide to working with all of my quirks and everything. I talked about it a few weeks ago, and then it took me a while, but I finally put an article up on Forbes along with a picture of my actual one-page profile. Well, that thing's taken off. I think we're up to 30,000 views on Forbes already. Clearly, there's an interest in this topic. So we are going to shoot a video this week. It'll probably take another couple of weeks to produce, but we're going to do a video version so that everybody can take a look at how I put that thing together and get inspired so you can create your version too. And before I started recording this, I went to leadx.org to look at our free course of the day. And today, it's effective business writing, including how to do mind mapping. Now, by the time you're listening to this podcast, that free course will be gone because they're only available for 24 hours a day per course. But you should visit leadx.org as soon as you're done with this podcast to see which one of our awesome courses is free today. Also, friendly reminder, I am hiring both a full-time CTO and a full-time head of marketing. Ideally, somebody who could work from Philadelphia, but that's not a deal killer for the right person. The job descriptions, all the details are up on Angel List. Go to angel.co, search for LEADx, and you'll see the job postings. But send me an email at info@leadx.org. if you know someone that might be interested, but I will say I am looking for experienced senior people. I'm only going to talk to people who have many years of experience, running marketing or being a CTO at a B2B SaaS company. And before I jump to questions, friendly reminder, if you like this show, let people know by leaving a rating up on iTunes or on Stitcher, wherever it is that you listen to this show. It's the single best thing you can do for me personally, and the single best way to spread the word that we are all leaders. Leadership matters. Leave a rating on iTunes or Stitcher. It's going to take you less than a minute. So our productivity question of the week comes from Janie, and this is all about how to maintain energy for your side hustle. She writes, I used to be a full-time real estate agent. However, when the market turned south, my family encouraged me to look for other employment, so I did. But it was only meant to be temporary. I'm currently working full-time at a job I hate, desperately trying to get back into real estate full-time. But my current job is very mentally taxing, and I'm exhausted when I get home. Please, if you have any thoughts or advice, I would love to hear from you. Janie. Now, I can definitely relate to this. Most people don't know this, but I've now been very fortunate. I've started, grown, and exited several multi-million-dollar companies, but I started each one as a side hustle, as a side dream, while I was still employed, getting paid, doing something else. In fact, I never really shut down the old thing and started the new until I was already generating at least half the income that I was getting from the day job. So I can relate, trying to be a good, single dad to 3 kids, trying to be a good leader, worker, business builder at the day job. You just come home and you can be so exhausted. I mean, how do you now spend time on your side hustle, pursuing your dream? And whether it's to get back into real estate or to start a company or to write that novel or to work out or whatever that is. And here's what worked for me. I never really give advice. I can only share what worked for me. And the first thing is, it's because you have so limited energy, you need to master your minutes. So if you haven't already read my book, 15 Secrets Successful People Know About Time Management, that's the handbook. But a key is knowing you've got to leverage those minutes. So what is the single most important task I need to be working on now to grow that side hustle, to get back into real estate, whatever it is? What is the one thing? Don't get distracted by emails or research or website bouncing around. What is that one thing? For many people, it is going to be sales or prospecting, getting customers. It's the thing we don't like to do, but it's the thing that will grow our business. Whatever it is, identify it. Second, and people don't like to hear it, but as much as possible, don't wait till the end of the day to work on your side hustle. Work on it as early in the day as possible. So for a lot of people, that means set the alarm for 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, and just spend 30 minutes or an hour, if you can pull it off, on the MIT for your dream project. That way, you're not going to put it off at night. You're not going to say, oh, I'm tired or whatever it is. You're going to work on it first. Be exhausted in the afternoon at the day job, not while you're working on the side hustle. Now, maybe you can't do that. Maybe you need to do something when people are around or only at night. So that's fine. That means you need to realize that energy that we all need, and energy is the key to productivity, it's largely a physical thing. It's about your body. So you have to get quality sleep. None of us can get 8 hours of sleep. So it's not quantity sleep. It's deep sleep. So you do all the things necessary to stay in a deep sleep. It means drinking tons of water. The best supplement for energy is water. Maintain a low or slow carb diet to avoid those carbohydrate, those sugar crashes, the sugar roller coaster. And then again, when we're tired, this is hard to do, but mental energy, our brain gets turned on by blood flow. So that's cardio. That's 20 minutes of walking on the treadmill or jumping jacks or walk around the block. Lots of studies show 20 minutes of light cardio results in better focus, better attention, better ideation, better problem solving, and a boost to happiness. If you've only got 1 hour to work, spend 20 minutes doing cardio and then work the next 40 minutes. You'll get more done that way. Finally, the psychological part of the energy, which is very small, every morning I reflect on my 3 to thrive, the big 3 things I'm focused on. In my case, it's health, wealth, and relationships. Yours can be anything. But think about what is your number one goal? Why do you want to get back into real estate? What is the pain like of not getting back into real estate? What are all the benefits of when you do get back into real estate? And use that to psychologically, literally psych yourself up for that nighttime boost of energy. Best of luck to you, Janie. Now, here's a question I actually saw come into our executive coach robot, Coach Amanda, on the LEADx platform. Someone was asking, how many team members do I need to have before I should start implementing weekly one-on-one meetings? And the answer is 1. It's not about team size. The purpose of those weekly one-on-one meetings is to have a recurring appointment every single week, ideally same day and time, for you to connect with each of your direct reports, even if you only have one. And it's a time to build the relationship, which builds trust and all of that, and to give them a chance to tell you what's on their mind. It's not to review projects. It's not to deal with the got-a-minute things. It's dedicated time for relationship building and two-way communication. So even if you've got one person, that's invaluable time to spend. The last question I'll tackle, this came from someone in one of my keynotes recently who said, I really don't have time for this, but Monday mornings, everybody comes into the office. I've got a couple of minutes at most. Like, what's the one simple thing I can be doing to improve engagement? And I've talked about this before. Like, it's true that growth, recognition, trust, and communication are the 4 big drivers that we should all be doing. And they don't take a lot of time. But if I really had to think about the one tiny little thing that you could do that only takes seconds, not even minutes, it's at the beginning of every week. Look your team, each direct report, look them in the eye, use their name, ask them how their weekend was, ask them how their kid did in soccer, ask them how their spouse did at the marathon. When you just connect in that way, pause, make eye contact, use their name, ask something personal in nature, it's showing that you care. It's showing that they count. So all the business stuff aside, I've had a lot of my Marine Corps friends, tell me, hey, leadership comes down to competence and caring. People don't want to follow an incompetent leader, so you got to be competent. And then it's about look, if this person truly cares about me, they can do a lot of other stuff wrong and I'm still going to follow them, right? They care. They're putting me first. So just by saying, hey, good morning, Mike. How was your weekend? Hey, good morning, Chris. How did Sabrina do with the cheerleading competition? It's showing that I care. I know the names of their kids, their family members. I care a little bit, at least on Monday mornings. Friends, before I wrap it up, I got to remind you, you can get a free no-risk trial to the LEADx Academy. Go to leadx.org. That is where you are going to learn how to become the boss you always wish you had yourself. It's going to give you the confidence to increase employee engagement, the confidence to try out the one-on-one meetings, the effective feedback models, and so much more. Be the boss you wish you had yourself. LEADx.org. Have an amazing weekend, and remember, leadership is influence, so we are always leading. How are you going to lead today?